was just gonna add to this that you know how cell phone waves, cell phone waves are bad for humans from this one thing. When someone gets a pacemaker put in their chest, dude, every phone you buy, like for example the PS Vita or the PSP, warns that you shouldn't be on Wi-Fi around someone that has a pacemaker because it can interfere with the device. So I'm thinking to myself, if it can affect someone that has a pacemaker, it could probably affect other parts of the human body as well with these wireless waves.
Can I interject on that, Carmine?
Go ahead, Dave.
So, Carmine, what are you are saying that the most powerful people in our world are they are giving people um magnetic valves and the most powerful people in this world are giving people things which can be interfered with electromagnetic waves. Is that what you're saying?
Uh, yeah, they have more anxiety in today's world. They have all kinds of mental health problems. And I guarantee you, it all started when all these waves started, when they started putting these tower waves up.
Oh my goodness. So you are saying those people with electromagnetic organs, you saying those organs can be interfered by magnetic waves?
Yeah, Dave.
Oh my goodness. So the elite of this world, the most powerful people in this world, are giving people these, um, you know, uh, bionic organs, and these organs can be interfered with the electromagnetic spectrum.
It's kind of like when you go on an airplane, they tell you to turn
Oh
off all
my,
your wireless devices as well.
oh my goodness. You know what that means? They can turn somebody off. Oh, oh shit. That is not good because that means that anybody with bionic organs will die. Because if they use something to interfere with those signals, their organs will fail. So why did they give them those organs in the first place? Why? Why did they give them those organs?
Well, the
Was it
pacemaker,
because they loved them, or was it because they wanted to kill them?
I don't know, Dave, but my grandfather had to get a pacemaker because he had a few massive heart attacks, and the pacemaker kept his heart beating a normal rate of beats for a few years.
And did it save him?
Uh, I don't know. They eventually,
Oh
he
my
just
goodness.
got really sick after a few years after he
Oh
had the
my
pacemaker.
goodness. Oh dear, 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 dear. Do you know what I think? Do you know what I think? The reason they give pacemakers is because they know when they give them the patients, they know it'll work, but it'll be interfered by the electromagnetic spectrum.
So you're
That
saying
is what upsets me. That
the
upsets me
elites?
because that interferes with any electrical mechanism in any human's body. it will crush the mechanism. Because in the electromagnetic spectrum, you get radio waves, which are weak waves, they don't carry much energy. After this, you get microwave, less energy, but very powerful. After microwave, what do you get?
I
You
don't know,
get?
Dave. But my grandfather never trusted eating food from a microwave, though.
Have you never guessed what I'm gonna say?
If their microwaves come, I don't know, spirit waves, soul waves, Dave.
No,
Kingsman, the Secret Service movie. It's a UK film.
no, I haven't. No.
Well, in this movie, Dave, the villain of the story, was giving out free cell phones to people, right? And it turned out that these cell phones were making people do crazy things.
Well, do you know what kind of waves come after microwave?
I don't know, man, gamma rays or solar rays.
No, 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 no. X-rays, X-rays.
All X-rays.
Yes, they come after X-rays.
All,
X-rays.
all Dave, this is a good topic. For years now, these countries have been exposing passengers at the airports at the screenings. They force them to go through these X-rays, at least in America, before they can get on the plane now, Dave.
Wait, what?
Yeah. At first, it was a body scanner. It would take X-rays of people to see if they had weapons and stuff on them. Uh, but pretty much every time you go to an airport in America, before you can get on it, they expose you to X-rays.
And
But I was gonna say, I think the government is trying to either control us, Dave, or slowly kill us off.
oh dear, dear, dear. I know what you're saying. Do you know what? I failed to tell you about one of the invisible light rays. One of the invisible light rays which I failed to tell you was ultraviolet. So after microwave radiation, which comes from the sun, you get ultraviolet rays, which come from the sun. And guess what? Guess what? The
Uh,
Earth's ozone layer protects us from the harmful rays, which are ultraviolet and
uh,
and whatever ultraviolet and you know what it you don't know what it is?
the sun rays, I think, Dave.
Yes. Well, did you know that God, Jehovah, he put the ozone layer, which is a layer of gases in our atmosphere, and those layer of gases, they destroy UV lights and What's the other one?
Uh,
Ultraviolet light and
yeah.
gamma rays. Yes.
The only thing I'm confused about, Dave, is a few months ago we talked, and I said something about how the sun isn't bad for the plants, isn't bad for the animals.
Hmm.
And eventually, we agreed that the sun was not harmful to humans as well, Dave,
Hmm.
because Jehovah would not
Yes.
create a star that would kill us like that, I don't
Yes.
think.
Yes. So what are you are saying that Jehovah, he would not create a star which would harm humans? This is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, I do agree with you, Carmine, because you're correct. You know why?
Oh, yeah, that
Because
is. I love you, Dave.
the gases in our atmosphere are unique. For example, if you stood on the planet Mars, rays from the sun, which are, what are they? Radio waves. What are they? They come
UV
from the
rays.
sun. We have,
Ultraviolet.
yes, ultraviolet. But the rays from the sun consist of 7 colors. 7 colors can they penetrate the atmosphere of our Earth and they give us vitamins in our skin.
Vitamin
However,
D.
yes, vitamin D. So that is what God gave humans. He wants to give humans vitamins. However, however, there is certain um spectrum in the magnetic spectrum which penetrate our atmosphere. Why? Why do these things penetrate our atmosphere? Because humans have damaged the atmosphere. So, because humans have damaged our ozone layer, we receive high energy particles which we should not receive. We only receive these because of man's rule.
Is there any
Because
way we can fix the ozone layer, Dave? Or is it just gonna keep getting worse?
the only way we can fix the ozone layer is if all of man's governments say, whoa, I give up. The only way we can restore the Earth's problems is if every kingdom in this world says, you know what? Human government doesn't work. So until the humans say doesn't work, this world will be a hellish place, bro. Um, it will continue to be a hellish place until until those human rulers realize we have to worship God. God who made the heavens and the earth. And when they do that, they will put their heads down and they will realize the glory of our Father in heaven. You know? And this is all I wanted to say. So, so when you said, you know, these people, people get cancer, and they're walking about and they're saying, I got cancer. If only they worship the only true God. Do you know what causes that cancer?
Uh, Probably all of these nukes that they've been testing throughout
Nope.
the years.
Nope.
Are the chemicals they've been putting into the food and water.
No, 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 you're wrong. You're wrong. It may, that may lead to devastation. As you said, what they are doing will lead to cancer. Because when they explode those bombs emit radiation which causes cancer. So I know what you're saying. The reason why people get cancer is the ozone layer.
That was leading to my next question, Dave. Do you think that when they first detonated the first nuke, and then all these other countries like Russia and China, they started testing it, dropping some nukes in the oceans and stuff. Do you think that could have depleted some of the ozone layer with all that radiation being bombarded through the stratosphere of the planet?
Yes. You know what, Carmine? You hit the nail on the head. Right. I'm gonna give you to this bluntly. You have smashed it. Carmine, you have smashed the nail on the head. The reason why people get cancer is because humans have destroyed the gases in the atmosphere.
There's
When
an
they,
imbalance
w-
of
yes, because those gases in the atmosphere protect us from UV and what is it? What is it? UV and
uh,
gamma,
yeah.
gamma rays.
And my grandmother pointed something out that got my attention, Dave. She said that since all these rockets have been and satellites have been launched into the Earth's upper atmosphere, that maybe all this combustion that high above the planet is depleting the ozone layer as well from these rockets, like these huge ships that they launch into orbit sometimes, Dave, by the United States and Russia. What is your opinion, Dave?
So, are you saying that the rockets have interfered with the atmosphere?
Yeah, because if you've ever watched a video on YouTube, it's literally thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds of TNT when they ignite the engine to those rockets, Dave. And all that fuel is being sprayed into the atmosphere, not only by rockets, but airplanes as well.
Airplanes. Oh my goodness. Oh dear. Right, so what what's been sprayed into the atmosphere then? When you said rockets and airplanes, what are they spraying atmosphere?
Uh, the byproduct of fossil fuels in the rocket engine, Dave.
Carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
And what else?
greenhouse gases as well, Dave.
Yes, yes. I understand. I understand. Um,
Did you know what else they're spraying in the skies, Dave? Apparently some military planes, they're spraying baldarium, which is the heavy metal compound, into the skies. And people in areas affected by this, their skin literally starts getting, all these rashes on them, dude.
so what are they spraying into the atmosphere?
Some people say they're trying to protect the Earth's ozone that's been depleted, and others are saying they're deliberately spraying heavy metals on the population to make them sick, Dave, because it interferes with their immune system.
Um, do you know what? You know what I think? This is what I think, Carmine. When you said these companies are spreading heavy metals into the atmosphere, they are spreading heavy metals into the atmosphere because they want to reduce the population of the Earth. This is what I think. What do you think?
With all the amount of people getting sick, uh, people's immune systems are being compromised by all these heavy metals, Dave, that they're spraying out of jets in the sky. They've been
Um,
caught doing it as well, I think. Uh,
so,
they're
uh,
called chemtrails, Dave. Chemtrails.
so me and Busy have spoken, and me and Busy talked about what was that tribe, Busy, which survived 100 years? Busy. Is Busy there? Um,
Need about tree
what
fitted there soon.
what it was, Carmine,
Go get the
is what? Fucking bastard.
I was just talking to my
Right.
dog, Dave.
I thought that was Busy. Fucking hell. Right. Um, Carmine, you know why I am concerned?
Because the planet cannot sustain all this wickedness, Dave.
This is why I am concerned. And I'm gonna give you two factors, Carmine. Number one, human rockets produce carbon dioxide, which kill our atmosphere. Number two, this is the very important one, as you said. Do you know when I said to you, humans produce carbon dioxide?
Yeah.
Well, not only do they produce carbon dioxide, which kills the planet, they are producing electromagnetic waves which are so high they are destroying people's DNA.
Yeah, Dave.
And that's all I'm gonna say.
So you think they're doing this deliberately, Dave? by
Yes.
introducing the masses to all this technology.
Yes.
That there's a purpose for Apple wanting to release a new cell phone model every 6 months, Dave, because they know that not only are they making people stupid, but at the same time, they're slowly killing them as well. It's
Yes. That's
part of an evil plan
Satan.
the the elite people controlling the government.
Um, have you heard of Wi-Fi?
That is how I am talking to you right now, Dave, son.
In today's technology, they have incorporated Wi-Fi because Wi-Fi is always in the air and it will always interfere with human brain and it will always cause cancer. That is why I'm worried.
Because these waves not only pass through your internet devices, they go through your body and your house as well when you're on Wi-Fi, don't they, Dave?
So when you said that the people are creating spacecraft which produce carbon dioxide, when you produce an overabundance of carbon dioxide, that plays hell on the earth. And not only does it play hell on the earth, when you send electromagnetic spectrum, for example, this is the problem with today's society. Um, Phones run off radio waves, which are low energy. Radio waves are not very harmful. What about microwave radiation?
I don't know too much about that, Dave, but they say it's safe to cook your food in them, though.
Yes, the same microwave radiation is it is acceptable when you look at the facts. When you look at what has happened to things which are being subject to microwave radiation, even though it is very powerful. I mean, after microwave, we get rays which are, you know, not very powerful. I mean, we get radio waves, microwaves. Guess what comes next? I'm gonna tell you right now. Can you guess?
Methane gas, Dave.
No. This is what comes next. Did you not guess? Can you guess?
I'm at a
Oh,
loss for words, Dave.
I really did.
Microwaves, radio waves,
So,
TV waves,
so,
Dave.
no, 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 no. After, after microwave, then comes the electromagnetic spectrum, which is 7 colors.
But Dave,
Of it,
would you say the human soul is also part of that electromagnetic spectrum?
yes, the human body can detect those electromagnetic colors of the 7 colors. So after after microwaves, we get human waves, which are 7 colors. And after those 7 colors, what do we get?
A rainbow, Dave.
Well, after the 7 colors, the highest energy particles that the sun sends out is UV, ultraviolet, ultraviolet rays. So this is what we have to worry about because the ultraviolet rays, they cause cancer. So the ultraviolet rays should be blocked by the ozone. But why doesn't it, why doesn't the ozone block them? Because humans have destroyed the ozone layer to the point of they don't block UV anymore. Ah,
Uh, so what you're saying, Dave? Probably within the next 20 to 100, maybe 100 years, there's gonna be no ozone left at all.
well, no, that is false. That is false. Do you know why? The
I know.
reason the reason why the ozone layer won't get that bad is because God has promised. God promised that the end will come before they destroy the earth. And
it doesn't.
in the Bible it says that the earth will never be destroyed.
Uh, in the Bible, I think it says, Dave. My grandmother said this, that when God does destroy the earth, that He's going to use fire.
Do you know why I disagree?
Because of the covenant, Dave, from the flood.
The reason I believe that God will destroy the wicked on this earth, He may use fire, but I know that He may not use fire because on the earth there are righteous people. There are people who do not deserve fire. So maybe God won't use fire in the end.
Uh, After the flood with Noah, I think God promised that He would never use a flood again to punish Earth. So it would have to be something different this time.
Yes, after the flood, God, which is Yahweh, Yahweh said, I will never use water. God said, I will use something different. But the reason I know that God won't use anything other than water, I know he won't use fire. Um, well, I don't actually know because he said he will destroy the wicked. I don't know how he will destroy the wicked. Maybe with fire. I don't think with water because he killed um the last people with water. You know, I don't know. But what I do know is he will use something other than water. I mean, he used water in the past. Maybe in the future he may use fire to destroy his enemies. Who
Uh,
knows?
like he didn't he use fire to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, Dave, for being wicked?
Well, did you hear what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah?
Uh,
Um, well, a few days before that city came to ruin, somebody called Lot, if you ever heard of him.
yeah, he was the only righteous man in the city, I think.
So, um, this is a very difficult story which I cannot tell off my head, but what I'm saying to you is, Busy, can you explain the situation? Can Busy explain this? Because I'm a bit confused about this.
Well, there was very much evil going on inside the city of Gomorrah. I think the people were rebellious against their creator. They were having sex with anyone they wanted to, and God gave them many warnings to mend their ways to come to Him. But at the end, they chose evil, and eventually, uh, God warned Lot and his family to go to another city because he was going to destroy Sodom. And the one thing God said was to tell his family not to look back. But Lot's wife looked back, and she was turned into a pillar of salt, I think, from
Oh,
the explosion of the city.
um, Carmine?
Hello there,
Carmine, thank you for explaining the situation in Sodom and Gomorrah. You have explained it better than I could. Thank you. Thank you, bro.
I love you, Dave.
What?
What I was trying to say is, Dave, do you think uh, God will, when he punishes the earth, it will be on a bigger scale than Sodom and Gomorrah? Won't he use a fireball from the sky like he did with those cities to punish the wicked?
Well, this is what I think.
It was basically an asteroid or some kind of huge meteorite that he used to send
Right.
to over to Gomorrah, Sodom and Gomorrah, I
Well,
think.
I'm gonna give you a different example, which means the same thing. Can you remember Babylon the Great?
They were some wicked people, Dave.
Okay, so Babylon the Great was a world empire of false religion. Do you know why um the ruler at the time he was called Belteshazzar? Now, why did Belteshazzar, the king of Babylon, in 667, in 667, the ruler of Babylon, he had a fortress which was impregnable. There was no way of impregnating his 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 city.
So
Now,
they had a super condom, Dave, to protect it.
yes, they had a condom in there. Yes. So how how was it impregnable? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you now. Belteshazzar, he he what did he do? He bragged. He said, "I am Belteshazzar. I am the ruler of Babylon the Great. This is a year because I know when Jerusalem was defeated, and this year was. You know what the year was when Jerusalem got destroyed?
uh, I don't think so, no, Dave.
So Jerusalem got destroyed 636. 636. That is the year Jerusalem was destroyed by Babylon. 636. So, in the year 600, the king of Babylon, he thought he was impregnable. He thought he was the mightiest ruler which ever ruled. But do you know what? In 727, do you know when 727 was?
80 years after 636.
Yes, 727. Do you know somebody called Isaiah?
I think he was a prophet.
Yes, it was 727. He was the prophet of Jerusalem. And what did this prophet say? What did he say concerning the fall of Jerusalem? Remember, he said it in 727. He said, the rivers of the Euphrates shall be dried up, and Cyrus my Lord of Lords. And this is what Jehovah of Armies said. Jehovah of Armies has said, Cyrus will conquer Babylon. And Babylon was impregnable. But this God of the Bible called Jehovah 200 years before the fall of Babylon. Because the fall of Babylon was 576. That's when Babylon fell. And what did the God of the Bible say? He said that he will fall by the edge of the sword and the rivers will be dried up and the gates of the great city will be opened. And guess what happened on that very night? Jehovah said in the Bible that he even said somebody called Cyrus will come to Babylon and take it over. How did the God of the Bible know the exact name of the ruler who took over Babylon on that night? And he said the ruler Cyrus will dry out the rivers and he will. So he managed to divert the rivers. Cyrus' army came in because they diverted the rivers because Babylon was surrounded by a river, but they diverted the river. They went somewhere else so they could walk past the river, and on that very night, the gates were open just as the Bible says. It says Cyrus will come and conquer, and he will walk through without any force because the gates were open.
Uh,
Yo,
do you know what Mystery Babylon is in Revelation, Dave? I've been trying to figure that out for a long time.
yes, that is the same. The people who Jehovah talks about is the same Babylon.
Babylon is located in Iraq, isn't it, Dave?
Yes, it is. Um, Babylon is great.
And
Do you know
oh, this,
why?
oh, another thing I was gonna add from the Muslim versus Jehovah debates, Dave. Why is it that all these Muslim countries they fight amongst each other, right? They're divided, uh, and it doesn't really seem like these Muslim countries, their landscapes, are really blessed by God. But if you look at Israel, they've got the best doctors, the best scientists, the best technology. It seems like Jehovah has blessed Israel compared to the Muslim countries. Now, if Allah really is the God, you would expect to see that these Arab countries, they wouldn't be so messed up today. That's
Well,
the question I would have asked Legend Killer. Why is there so much fighting amongst their own people?
do you know that is why Israel will never be destroyed. I'm not saying Israel has God's blessing because the reason I say that is Jerusalem may have God's blessing because that's where Jesus grew up. You know, Jehovah may bless Jerusalem, but I'm not saying that he will protect everything in the nation. Because the reason I say that is when Jesus came to the earth, he said he said to his family, um, salvation belongs to the Gentiles. And what Jesus meant by that was when he said salvation belongs to the Gentiles, he was saying that the Jews of his day rejected him. For example, the Jews in Jerusalem rejected Jesus. Jesus said the Gentiles, which mean non-Jews. And what I'm saying to you is Jesus was saying life belongs to non-Jews. Whoever is a Jew, you will die because you misunderstood the prophecy. Because the Jews believe that Jesus hasn't even been. The Jews believe that Messiah hasn't even come. That is why they put Jesus to death. The Jews of Jesus' day, they said, we have no king but Caesar. And they put Jesus to death. And Jesus said, kingdom of my God belongs to the Gentiles, which means people who are non-Jews. So what we're talking about here is people who are not Jews, they have salvation. The Jews of nowadays, they're condemned to death. They are they have no hope whatsoever because they are still anticipating the Christ when really he's already come. That is a very sad thing about the Jews today. The Jews today have been misled.
They expected
You know,
Jesus to kill or destroy all of their enemies, I think, Dave. But instead, Jesus showed love to their enemies.
yes, you are a genius. So, the Jews of Jesus' day, they expected Jesus to kill any enemies, but Jesus didn't do that. Do you know why Jesus didn't kill the enemies?
Because he was a man of peace
What?
on earth.
No. The reason Jesus didn't kill any of his enemies on earth was what?
Oh, that was continue, Dave.
The reason Jesus didn't kill anybody on earth was because his will was for all sorts of men to be saved. If Jesus killed non-Jews, if he killed Gentiles, if he killed random people, it wouldn't have been in line with his commission, which was given by God. God told him, you go to the earth, you give my message. My message is, my message is, this good news of the kingdom was preached to all the earth. And God's message was to preach to all kinds of people. Because the Jews were rejected. Because the Jews said, what did the Jews say? We have no king but Caesar.
Was that a salad, Dave?
Sorry?
I just played around with it. Do you think Julius Caesar could make a wicked salad there, Dave?
He is a wicked person. There is no doubt about that, my friend. He instigated death of our sovereign Lord Jesus Christ. I cannot say any more than this, friend.
There was something I wanted to ask you about, Dave. Uh, in the
What did you
Bible,
want to ask me?
it says that God created the firmament over the earth. And some Christians have said this is how they believed humans could live so long. Because the firmament protected people from harmful things from space. Was the firmament like a canopy, Dave? Uh,
Can you tell me where it says that in the Bible?
uh, in Genesis, I believe.
So what do they say about the firmament?
Well, they say that it's like a glass ceiling, Dave, the firmament. And like the Earth is in a dome. Uh, and they claim that astronauts cannot go pass through this firmament, Dave.
Um, when I say to you, because I know that God, He created a canopy. Is that what you're talking about?
Uh, it's kind of confusing to explain, Jed. Oh, here it is, Dave. Genesis 1:6. It says, and God said, let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water. The other translation is, then God said, let there space be between the waters to separate the waters from heaven and earth. And
So,
God said,
let the,
let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let us divide the water from the water. Uh, I don't know, Dave. I'm trying to figure out what this firmament is. Is it like
Because,
protection from heaven to earth or something from getting too much water?
well, before the flood, God, what I'm saying is, when God put Adam and Eve in the garden, there was a firmament above Adam and Eve. The firmament replaced modern day atmosphere. You know what I'm saying?
The atmosphere. Oh, here's a good explanation, Dave. It says in the Bible, the firmament is the structure above the atmosphere, conceived as a vast solid dome. According to the
Yes.
narrative, God created the firmament to separate the waters above the earth from the waters below the earth. It's kind of hard to explain, though.
So he separated the above the earth to below the earth. So he created the canopy to separate the waters from below to above.
I think so.
Wow.